Joe Mullings from 160 Studios, and I've got Dan Rose in today. And Dan, thanks for joining us, the CEO of LimFlow, which is a fascinating technology we're excited to share with you today. So welcome to Delray.
Great to be here. Thanks, Joe.
It's good to have you. And you came over this past week?
Yeah, I came over for peripheral artery disease conference in New Orleans, NCBH, and was able to stay over and visit you here. So it's fantastic to be down in Florida.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And the LimFlow technology is what brought you there for the peripheral vascular disease show?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about LimFlow with us, if you would. The technology, the initiative for it, and the basic science behind it. And then we'll introduce our teammates here, and we'll go through their backgrounds as well.
Great. So, LimFlow is a late-stage cardiovascular startup specifically focused on chronic limb-threatening ischemia, so disease below the knee, as it were, and specifically on patients facing amputation. So we're really dealing with the sickest of the sick, those patients who have exhausted all other treatment options today that exist, whether endovascular or surgical, and are going to lose their limbs. And so our goal was to introduce a new set of products and procedures that can essentially utilize a parallel pathway to the arteries, which are the veins, in order to provide oxygenated blood to the foot, which can heal the wounds that arise either from ischemia, but also sometimes in combination with diabetes. Diabetic foot ulcers is probably something people have heard of. So we need to heal those wounds in order for the patient to avoid amputation, and getting oxygenated blood is the key to that. So we use the venous system in a unconventional way by channeling blood down through stents into the deep tissue of the foot, with the goal of taking the patient off that pathway, which is associated with tremendous morbidity and mortality. So we all know that if we go back to first principles, arteries take blood away from the heart and veins take blood to the heart, and we're flipping the script a little bit on that. And I think we're really excited about what we've achieved so far and the evidence, and we continue to execute on our pivotal trial for FDA approval. So it's been an exciting journey.
Was the journey a clear one, especially when you talk about the argument with physics, where we take blood away and we return it to? Was that a clear and present, or were you the first one to think of that as a potential solution?
Well, no, we were not the first to think of it. I mean, I think it's something that has been in the literature for actually decades and decades, tried in a surgical context of, using, essentially big incisions to reroute the blood using the veins. And there was evidence that it worked. But of course, when you approach it surgically, you're creating a big wound, right, that needs to heal in patients who have trouble healing wounds anyway. And so while there was evidence that it worked, there was a lot of, noise in the data, because patients would lose their limbs due to the wounds around the surgery itself. So we said, well, what MedTech is really good at is making things smaller, easier, reproducible, and more minimally invasive. So we said, let's use all of this endovascular percutaneous technology we have and see if we can do this procedure and use this mechanism of action with two tiny holes, right? And that's kind of been the mission of LimFlow.